Hello and welcome to another episode of Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ted.
And this is take two.
That's right. We got halfway through.
We did half the show. And the idiot in the booth forgot to push the record button.
That's okay, because we're going to start over.
Or something happened. I don't know. I'll take the blame. I wasn't monitoring or whatever. But anyway, this week we looked at The Holdovers. It's a Peacock TV. It's not an original. It was in movie theaters for 5 or 6 weeks, but it's on Peacock TV. And the reason, it went to the movie theaters first is because it's award season. You got to get them in before the first. Got to get them in for the first of the year so they can be considered. And this one got in, and it was considered. And the movie stars Paul Giamatti, Dominic Sessa, and Da'Vine Joy Randolph, of which Paul Giamatti and Da'Vine Joy Randolph this week, won Golden Globes for their performances in this movie, and they deserved them. I mean,
they're great. They're both great.
Simple as that. I will say this, though, that Dominic Sessa, that he deserved at least a nomination. Didn't get it.
He's funny.
He was great.
Yeah, he's good. He's going to be great.
And here's his story. He's 23 years old. This is the first feature film he's ever done, and he's a co-lead in this movie. Mm-hmm. And it's the first one he's ever done. I mean, he's done one other. You go to his IMDb, and I think it was like an extra in something back in 2005. So that's all that shows up, this and that, So anyway, he did a phenomenal job in this movie.
I agree.
And he is an acting student. So
for about one more semester.
Something. But he's good.
Yeah.
It's good. And it was directed by Alexander Payne. So, anyway, Dad, you want to tell them what it's about? So,
The Holdovers refers to kids that are holdovers for Christmas holidays. There's one teacher who lives there, Paul Giamatti, who draws the unlucky straw of having to watch over the children. And the cook, Da'Vine, who lives there, her son has just died in Vietnam, and she is in grief, but she is also on campus. So they are all there. There are 5 other students there as well. One of them's dad will not take him because he won't cut his hair for Christmas, and then he caves in the 3rd day in and comes and picks him up in a helicopter, and he takes all the boys skiing with him. But our lead, his parents don't pick up the phone. So he has to stay at school with Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, and Da'Vine Joy. So, takes place in, 1970 is the year.
Massachusetts.
And because there's the New Year's Eve party ringing in 1971. And it takes place in Massachusetts in the winter and beautiful snow. It's an art film. I mean, that's the only thing you can say. It's an art film. I loved this movie. Okay, this is a critic's movie. If you're in the Hollywood production world, you'll love this movie. And if you're mature, you'll. And I say that if you're older, I don't think kids are going to like this. I don't think young people would like this movie. Because it's just all story driven. Yep. It's acting, it's story, it's direction. It's not there's no effects.
There's also no it's not focused on the kids. Minus the first 20 minutes of the movie, you don't even deal with them anymore.
True.
So it's one kid having a
yeah.
I don't know if you ever remember the movie Dutch.
I do.
One of John Hughes' last movies he directed.
Yeah.
With Al Bundy. Ed O'Neill, and whatever the guy from.
I forget that kid's name.
He's in a bunch of stuff still.
Yeah.
But Ethan Embry.
There you go.
This is like that movie if it were an art house movie.
There you go.
That's what it is. It's the same similar thing. It's like except
like
you've
that.
got a professor who's super smart and going through his own stuff, rather than this working class Al Bundy guy.
Anyway, this movie, when it was over, like I said before, it really reminded me of being in college and taking film class there, and we watched Citizen Kane, and we had to break it down, and that's a great movie, by the way, Citizen Kane, and you had to break it down as part of the class, and you want to dissect this movie. You want to understand the conflict between the characters and the relationship building aspect of it, and you find yourself after you're watching, at least I did, doing that very thing, just breaking the minutia down, like Paul Giamatti's character. We realize he's absolutely brilliant at some point in the movie. No spoiler here. But we find out that he's really an absolutely brilliant guy, but circumstances derailed him. And the best he could do was becoming a teacher at his old prep school. And that's what he's ended up doing. And he's just lonely and bitter. It seemed like he held on to that issue in his entire life. I mean,
it's hard to shake something like that.
Yeah. So
we don't want to give that away.
Yeah, no. So, I really did. I enjoyed this movie immensely. I really did. It's a good movie.
I think it's a great movie. I think it's super well written. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is you're right. When we talk about AI movies and things like that and the future of film, like things like this won't stop getting made. It'll just be things like this, and then things that are just like explosion. I mean, like that's what it'll be. Those two things.
Yeah, I would love for everybody to watch this movie, so they can put all the other garbage in perspective. Mm-hmm. I mean, because this is a mainstream art film. Mm-hmm. It's not an independent film that, guys picked up a camera and went out and shot, and it just turned out to be great. This had some money behind it, really big actors, and it was done really, really well. So,
what do you think the budget was?
I'm just, I don't know. I would probably, putting on my old producer hat here, I would probably budget this for 18.
That's what I think. I'm trying to look it up. I think it's 18 to 20.
I would put 18 on this. So, and you got to remember 40% of it's going to go into marketing. Into distribution. I'm sorry, that's marketing, because they wanted this film to be put up to be nominated.
Yeah.
That was the purpose of getting it out into the public, because I don't think it hit 700 screens. So
okay, so it had a $70 million budget, which I never would have guessed.
No,
and it's made over that back, but it made 55, and then the digital streaming came out, and then it popped up. But
no way.
I don't think that can be right.
No, that can't be right. That's one of those.
No. Oh, wait.
No way. Somebody got taken. If they put $70 million into that picture, I mean, seriously. I mean, there were some big salaries on that show.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I agree with you. I would say this is an $18 to $20 million picture and no more.
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't.
Maybe 30.
What
are you spending the money on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
salaries.
I don't know what the salary of. Well, who's in it? Paul Giamatti. Nobody else is going to garner huge dollars. Dominic Sessa,
he got scale plus 10%.
Right, something, yeah. And let's be honest, Da'Vine Joy, I mean, she's a theater actress.
Won some Tonys.
And, she's this. she didn't get a big payday out on this. I mean, for most actors, yes, it was a big payday, but for other,
I see you.
you know, she didn't. So I don't know. I would question the.
That is a good example
source.
for people out there. They will give you the least amount of money they possibly can when you are getting your foot in the door.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, it's it's like being a football player when you come out of college and say you're a quarterback. You know, your first year, okay, all right, and if you're not the number 1 or number 2 pick, right? Mm-hmm. You know, their first year they'll give you some decent dough. You know, sign you to a 3-year contract. Let's see how this goes, and you know, and work with you. But as soon as you've proven, then they go, okay, here's the real contract. Yeah. So that's what it is, and that's you know, I don't think Dominic Sessa, and I think he was brilliant in this movie. I don't know if I said it already, but Paul Giamatti and Da'Vine Joy, they won the Golden Globe for acting in this. And Dominic Sessa, I think he did an incredible job, and he wasn't even nominated.
Pretty sure he got an agent after he booked this movie.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They probably had to find him an agent to close the deal. If he auditioned at Carnegie Mellon, they probably had to find an agent to close the deal.
Well, they might have got somebody at Carnegie Mellon to do it. I'm sure there's a business department there that could have handled this, because they cast this. My understanding, I can't attest to it, but they cast this out of a school. You know, they had 12 college-age actors audition for it, and they picked Dominic. That's my understanding from reading. So, and he got the job.
Good job.
Great job. You know, your first picture to be Golden Globe nominated. It'll surely be an Oscar nominated. I don't. Out
of this year's movies, I for sure think so.
I would think so.
Oppenheimer, Barbie.
I was so I watched the Globes. I was so happy, and I hate to say that Barbie didn't win anything other than, hold on, they did win one. You ready for this one?
What?
Cinematic achievement and box office achievement. It's not just cinematic achievement; it's cinematic and box office achievement.
Because you didn't want it to win anything?
Well, I didn't think it was. I don't think it's that great of a film. I don't. It falls into the category of any Avengers movie I've ever seen. I mean, it's just that kind of movie. So it was probably great to make. It was fun, good times. But there was nothing special about that movie. But I was laughing. Listen to that title of the category: cinematic and box office achievement. So it had to be unique and do well at a box office to qualify for that award.
I'm surprised that Ryan Gosling did not win.
I'm not. I mean,
I haven't seen Oppenheimer.
So I haven't either, and I want to. This is what kills me about the Golden Globes. A number of years ago at the Golden Globes, The Martian won best musical or comedy.
Yeah.
In the category of musical and comedy. First of all, you need to break those apart. There's a category for musicals and there's a category for comedy. And I get why they put them together, because there's not a lot of musicals out there.
Or comedies. So,
well, I think what they need to do is dig harder. Look at more independent kind of stuff, as offerings. So I think Matt Damon was very shocked that they won best musical or comedy for The Martian, because it really wasn't that funny, right? So I'm beginning to think after this year that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association has a real weird sense of humor. In television shows, do you know what won best musical or comedy television series?
No, what?
The Bear. Mm-hmm. It's not a comedy. You go Google The Bear, and it pulls up and it says drama. It is a drama.
Have you seen it?
I've seen all of it twice.
So I watched 7 episodes in a row yesterday.
Of the bear.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sidebar, I can't watch that because I can't stand that guy playing cousin.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He just is screaming everything. He's annoying. He's just like, shut up. I'm with the other chef. I'm the one that's like, shut up, Richie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm with her. I love him.
Right.
And I watched the episode where they have the Christmas dinner.
But, yeah.
And like the dude from Walking Dead is great when he's throwing the forks at him.
Yeah.
He's great. That scene's great.
Yeah.
Everybody in that scene's great.
It's a good series. I love the series, but it's a drama.
It's a hard drama.
It's not. I mean, there's no humor in. When they popped up in the
nobody cares about the Golden Globes.
I was just like, how can you even say that? How can you even say the bear? Well, I look at it this way. If the bear, which I consider a drama, and there is a drama category, is nominated, it's like you're the, they tally it up, they look and they say, okay, the bear's going to come in second in the drama category.
Let's give it a comedy.
But we want it to win, so let's stick it in another category that'll surely win. And I'm just like, that's wrong, because there are real comedy shows out there, like The Bookie on HBO, right? They'll never get a nom. They'll never. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's a good show, and it's funny.
Who was in the drama though? I bet it was like Last of Us, Succession, like all these super heavy shows. They can't put the bear in with that.
I don't know why not. If you want to do this, to break it away from The Last of Us and Succession, is you break the drama, long form drama, short form drama, right? Break the categories down so that Succession and The Last of Us, they're in that big category, right? Because they're long form dramas. Where The Bear, I don't know,
pretty quick.
It is. So anyway, I was just blown away once again, and I was like, oh my God, these Hollywood foreign press people that do the nominations and the voting, they've got a real sick comedic sense of humor.
I always feel like the Oscars are obviously the number one, and then the SAG Awards, and then the Emmys, and then the Golden Globes.
Well, I think, in the public, Oscars are 1, Emmys are 2, and SAG 3. But in the industry, you're absolutely right. I think the SAG Awards are probably bigger than the Oscars.
Right, because we vote on it.
So the SAG Awards, Oscars, and then Emmys. But Oscars and Emmys are movies, and the other is television. Anyway, all right, Ted, let's get back to the Holdovers, Peacock TV. 2 hours, 13 minutes. This was a tough one to score.
Was it?
It was. Well, because I'm thinking of the audience, and I'm going to throw a big number out here, okay? My number is a 94. That's my number for this movie. It's that good in my eyes. I think it deserve the nominations for the Golden Globes. It's going to deserve every nomination it gets going forward. I mean, I'm sad that Dominic Sessa wasn't nominated for the Golden Globes. What a story that would have been. First time movie, first time actor winning. I mean, and I think he could have won. I do.
Could have.
So, because he was that good. 92, and this is just a general movie, so that's all I can put it in.
You said 94 first.
I'm sorry, 94.
So I had, before you ever even said that, 93.
93, okay.
So I'm right with you.
Yeah, but the part is that people are going to look at this that are in a different genre, different age group, and they're not going to have that opinion of it. So, if I was in high school or college and I saw this movie,
Well, if I was in college, that's a little different.
So
if I were in college, when I'm thinking, when I'm like,
well, you see, that's the difference between you though, you and I. I'm in college as an advertising student and you're in college as an acting student. So
Yeah.
theater student. So you're going to look at it a little different than me and then my, how can we sell this bowl of cereal, friends that are drinking beer?
It's not going to be interesting unless you went to prep school in the Northeast. And if you're under 30, you needed to go to prep school for this to be interesting to you.
Yeah. I think you're right. Well, I didn't go to prep school and I loved Up the Academy.
Robert Downey Sr.'s masterpiece.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's great. I love that movie. I would love to see it again. I mean, about 9 months ago, I watched 1941.
Ooh,
John Belushi.
Yeah.
I think that's that movie. It's Spielberg.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Right after Jaws.
I don't know why it hasn't been as acclaimed as it should be, because 1941 is incredibly... 1941, if you're not... It's John Belushi, a whole cast of characters in it. Slim Pickens is in it. You're not going to know that name, that's for sure. I'm aging myself here. But that was Spielberg's Animal House to John Landis's Animal House. He made 1941 comedy, and then John Landis did Animal House. That was it. And Harold Ramis, he did Caddyshack. So
Best of all three.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? I would almost put 1941 over Animal House.
I don't love Animal House.
I don't eat. I mean, I like it. It's funny.
It's all right.
But, if, again, from film, I mean, it just, 1941 is just absolutely hysterical.
Never seen it. I'm going to watch it.
Oh, you haven't? Mm-mm. Oh, I think it's some of Spielberg's best work. I'm putting it out there. I'm not afraid to say it.
All right, I'm going to watch it.
I love it, Stephen. If you're listening, 1941 was great. It's one of those movies you start laughing and you just can't quit. I mean, I'm going to spoil it right here, okay? John Belushi is this World War II. Japan just attacked Pearl Harbor, so we're on big defenses on the coast in California. And John Belushi plays a pilot in it, and he's running low on fuel as he's scouting the coastline for Japanese subs, right? And he's running low on fuel, and he lands his plane on a desert highway and pulls right into the gas pump to fill his airplane up. Smoking his cigar, they fill the plane up. Okay. Actually, he takes off while they're still filling the plane up, right? So there's gas going everywhere, and he chucks his cigar out and blows up the gas station.
Okay, I'm going to have to watch it.
It's classic comedy. It is. It's hysterical. So anyway, all right. Ted, you got anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I think this is a must-watch if you're over 30.
It is. It's a good, feel-good movie. It did not seem like it was 2 hours and 13 minutes long, which is difficult for me to say because my viewing is very time-sensitive. And I went through it, and it didn't bother me one bit.
It didn't bother me at all either.
They're just so compelling. Anyway, hey, everybody, we appreciate you listening to Streaming Without a Paddle. I'm Andrew.
I'm Ted.